It's Saturday morning at 10 a.m., so you know what that means. It's time for What's Up, Ocala? With tens of thousands of viewers every month on our YouTube channel and millions so far on TikTok, we are joined by our host, local owner and broker of Great Expectations Realty, Andrea Praber.
Good morning and welcome to What's Up, Ocala. I'm your host, Andrea Praber, and today we're going to be talking about, 2025. We're going to be discussing the new year, our personal resolutions, if you do that, traffic clearing up from New Year's drivers, just all sorts of interesting stuff right here in Ocala. Well, if you're looking to jump on that New Year's train, whether it's following one resolution or 20, Ocala has everything you need. Let's explore how you can unlock your best potential in 2025 right here in Central Florida. Well, there's a popular resolution that I'd say majority of people have, and that is saving money. We can definitely talk about some of the low-cost, fun things to do that are right here local. You can go down to the downtown market, the vintage market, junk in the trunk out at Brown's Farm, which is definitely one of my favorites. Also, even if you're just picking up some fresh produce, there's a lot of You Pick farms. You can't get any fresher than straight off the plant. This is all coming up in full swing. In fact, even though it's January, You Pick strawberries are happening right now. That's right. You can actually go and pick your own strawberries in January here because it's Florida. There's also a lot of things that you can do as far as downtown. They have comic festivals, they have art, they have comic books, cosplay, all sorts of stuff like that. That's actually free to go to. They have sit down and stand up for comedy when you can actually watch 3 different comedians for only about $15. And the next one of those is coming up on January 10th. They have the downtown market, again, free to go to, and then purchase what you want or need. All sorts of items. They've got artisans. They have this guy that just sharpens knives. They have fresh beef that's grass-fed, which I know is a huge thing for a lot of people. They have honey. They have homemade candles and soaps and just all sorts of really cool stuff. Not to mention, of course, fresh fruits and vegetables. And then, like I mentioned, you can also go to Junk in the Trunk. That's the first Saturday of the month. You can go over to Brown's Farm. And, of course, you can visit their market and everything. But they actually open up a field where all of these different cars, trucks, U-Hauls, vans, whatever, everybody just pulls in. And whichever one you are in line, that's where you end up in the field. You pay like $15, $20 to actually bring everything out from your vehicle. And it's literally wherever your car is, that's where your space is. So you have like your table or whatever set up right there by your vehicle, and you just sell what you have in your trunk. It's actually really cool. It's the most bizarre you'll ever go to. Totally free to go to look around. They do have some food trucks and stuff, but it's just mostly just checking out all of the different items from over 100 different vendors. Basically are going to be out there selling anything from antiques to tools to jewelry to clothes. You name it, it's going to be there. Of course, there's also You Pick farms coming up. We're going to have the blueberry farms, Cannon Farms, where they do like sunflowers and produce and watermelons, just depending on the time of the year. My favorite blueberry farm is Abshire. It's Abshier, just like Abshire Boulevard in Bellevue. Same family, yeah. But the blueberry farms is probably the most popular one around because it's not just going and picking blueberries. It's a whole thing. You can, take your pictures and stuff over in the wildflower meadow. It has this beautiful little pond with a water figure. It's just all this really cool stuff there. I've definitely done videos out there before. I just absolutely love it. It's so peaceful. It's just a really great way to spend a Saturday afternoon with your family. Now, a lot of other people are wanting to do fitness and wellness and getting healthier. And that's very popular as far as, it's the new year, so you want to do those new things. And I get that. There's actually a lot of ways that you can get help with that right here in Ocala. One of the things that we're doing, and we're having a lot of fun with it, is there's an app that's countywide. It's actually given to us through the Marion County Hospital District. And what it does is you actually go on there, you create a team, and every single step your phone logs will automatically put it up to that. And your team is working against other teams to try and get the lead that week. Well, some of those other teams are maybe the city council members. So it's really a lot of fun. You can either pick your zone, so it's your area of Ocala versus another area of Ocala, or maybe it's like a gym. That's really hard to beat, by the way. There's just a lot of them. I know I have one on there. Our team is called Good Morning Ocala, and it's a lot of fun. So if it's still in January, I would highly recommend that you join that, because that's when we're doing a lot of the contests and stuff. So should be a lot of fun. I think we're in second place right now, but I'm pretty sure that's going to change. There's also a bajillion gyms in Ocala. I'm not exactly sure how many a bajillion is, but there's a lot. There's Planet Fitness for those of you that just need some place that is, judgment free and fairly inexpensive. It's like $10 a month, or if you're one of those over, I believe 65, you can actually do it for the silver sneakers, and if they still call it that, but you actually got your gym membership. You can also do an upgraded price, and then you get like the black card membership, which means you can bring a guest anytime. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, just saying. Also, you'll have access to all of the massage beds and the water massage tables and tanning and infrared, just all sorts of different stuff. So I don't know. For me, I'd say it's probably worth going to the $20 one. But if you're just not really sure if you're going to use it or not, or even go to the gym, maybe stick to the $10 for now and see what happens. Now, if you're a little bit more of a gym aficionado, Zone is a fantastic place to get one-on-one support, get classes, all of the stuff. And they have 2 locations, same as Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness has on the east side and on the west side of Ocala. Zone is central, like right on Pine, or you can go to the one that is southwest Ocala. There's also a Gold's Gym, and it's a huge, huge gym. It actually used to be a grocery store, and now it's a gym, and they actually have an in-ground pool. So how they got an in-ground pool into a place that was a grocery store, the world may never know, but they do. And I have to say, their steam rooms and their gym locker rooms are probably the nicest of anything around. Absolutely gorgeous. There's the YMCA, kind of speaks for itself. There's YMCAs all over the world, but this one is quite nice, and it has had a definite upgrade in recent years. There's going to be a lot of young people, so if you are a family, that's probably a place that you want to look into. Then there's Iron Legion. Now, this is for the really hardcore people. They are really into CrossFit and stuff like that. That's definitely a place to go for them. If you just want to go for a walk, maybe spend some time with your family, get out of the gym and just get out there into nature, oh boy, have we got you covered here. There's the Florida Greenway, where you can hike, walk, bike, run, horseback ride, all sorts of stuff. And there's all sorts of parks along the way. And you can almost walk across the entire state of Florida just using that Florida Greenway. It's pretty unique and very cool. Now, if you are wanting to just go for a stroll in a park, well, there's a lot of parks available. There's Tuscaloosa, there's Liberty, and of course, one of my favorites is Shalom Park. Very peaceful, really beautiful, great place to just be. I don't know. It's really gorgeous. So lots and lots of parks available. If you have kids, maybe go to Brick City Park. That has a lot of activities for kids. There's actually even a homeschool day where kids that are homeschooled can go in and do like phys ed, and they can do science, and they can, meet other kids that are in homeschool as well. And you can kind of chill out with some of the parents if you want. Really great opportunity that I don't think a lot of places have. So very homeschool friendly here. As far as events, there's a lot of local fitness events, like a lot. There's 5Ks. In fact, there was 2 of them just last Saturday. There's a free running club with Fit to Run. That's every week on Wednesday. There's also a Monday night meetup on the track over at Brick City Park, where you can actually meet other runners and they can help you out with your form and getting into it. It's a really great place to do like a couch to 5K kind of thing. Or if you're more of a, marathon runner, it's a great place to meet like-minded individuals and, run together. It's kind of nice. There's also a lot of challenges in gyms like the Iron Legion. They have an upcoming Dika Fit Challenge. A lot of past challenges as well as recent challenges in December and October. Just a lot of different stuff going on. Basically, Ocala has everything you need to accomplish your goals for 2025, but you kind of have to be here and be part of the action. Start with small things to kind of work towards your dreams. Maybe going to one free event or maybe doing one 5K. Those are pretty easy to get into and they're a lot of fun. I really love the Wild Things one. That it's just so clever and so much fun. And there's a lot of little funny motivational things along the way as you're walking or running or whatever. Feel free to call into our radio show, of course, in the mornings. We have that from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday morning. And you can talk about your resolutions or comments. Maybe if you want to join our Good Morning Ocala team on the app, make sure and download the AMP2 app in your app store. That's AMP. It's Active Marion Project. So hopefully you'll be able to get in on that as well. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun with it. Now, if you are wanting to have some more things that you have as far as resolutions, well, I would love to hear about it. So maybe in the comments, mention what you've been doing or what your things that you really want to work on for 2025. Maybe there are some resources that I can help you out with that on. So hopefully I will talk to you soon and hopefully you'll have a fantastic 2025 and meet all of your goals. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about what is going on right here for 2025 in Marion County as far as real estate goes and some fun stuff that you can do this weekend right here in Ocala. Okay, for the Market Watch, the last 7 days right here in Ocala in Marion County, for new listings, we had 209. And it doesn't sound like that many, but it is only going to increase from here. A lot of houses that were off the market because of the holidays are now coming on the market. A lot of people want to move, and so they're putting their house up on the market right now. We're going to see a lot of houses hit the market within the next month or two. Now, price increases, we saw 57, price decreases 319. I'm pretty sure that's because a lot of people had their houses on the market during the holidays, which is the slowest time of year. So we're probably going to see an uptick on that right now. And maybe a lot of people are willing to, maybe do some deals. But in the near future, we're going to start seeing that decrease more and more because more and more buyers are going to be hitting the market in January and February. A lot of people use their tax returns as their moving expenses. So we're just going to see a lot of that. Now back on the market, we had 74 sold. We had 207 expired, 124, which is par for the course when you're coming into not just the end of the month, but also the end of a year. So a lot of contracts ended this week. We had pending 161. Again, that's pretty low, but for this time of year, it's actually not that bad. Temporarily off the market, we had 17. We had withdrawn 5 and canceled 86. So there was a lot of people that were just a little irritated because of the slowness of the market. And they just said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to keep my house. Or they're going to do something to the house and then put it back on the market. Maybe put a new roof or new HVAC or something like that. So who knows? But we may actually see those coming back on the market. So look for a lot more houses coming in, but also a lot more sales. We're going to see a lot of sales closing within the next 30 to 60 days. But what in the world is the market doing? We're actually seeing the national average interest rate trending upwards. It just came down a little slightly, down 4 basis points. So as of yesterday, it's Friday, January 3rd, 2025, The current average 30-year fixed rate mortgage interest rate is 6.95%. So it did tick down just slightly, but all in all, it's been going up for a few months now, kind of back and forth, but basically since October, it's been slowly, steadily increasing. We had a little bit of a dip mid-December, but it definitely tracked back upwards. So we are seeing that trend upwards. If you were hoping to get one of those 5% something interest rates, you may have missed the opportunity in that. But that's okay, because if you are in the market to purchase a home, you can always purchase a home. You might not get quite as much house as you could have gotten at a 5-point interest rate, but you're still going to be in a much better place than if you're spending 100% interest on a rental. So just a heads up on that. Now, meanwhile, the national 15-year interest rate is actually down 7 basis points. So that's actually really good news if it's possible for you to do a 15-year fixed rate. So the 30-year fixed rate is 6.95%, the 15-year 6.28%. Really good news there, again, if you qualify for that. As far as FHA, 30-year fixed rate FHA mortgage is 6.87%. So it might be something that you want to look into, even if you don't necessarily need an FHA and you're wanting to do a conventional. Well, it might be in your best interest to just pay a little bit extra down or buy down points and go ahead and get that FHA. Now, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage for VA is 6.5%. So really good news there, especially if you are able to get a VA loan or if you're able to assume a VA loan. Really, really interesting if you can do that as well. There's definitely some guidelines and stipulations and all sorts of stuff that goes into that. But if you do see a house that's up for sale that you really like and it actually has an assumable mortgage, well, it might be worth the paperwork to get in on that, especially if it's a low interest rate payment. So definitely something to look into. All right, let's go ahead and jump in to see what the sales for the year were in 2024 and what they were compared to the rest of Florida. Okay, for 2024, this is just for Marion County. Now, in January 2024, the sales price versus the actual list price, you were getting about 98.5% of your list price. So it's pretty close. It actually ticked up just a little bit further up in April, and then it stayed pretty much steady the rest of the year, ending in December at 98.4%. So bad news for some of you out there. If you are thinking you're going to get tens of thousands of dollars off the list price, that is not necessarily what's going to happen. So just a heads up on that one. You might be in for a surprise. Right now might be a great opportunity for you to go ahead and look into offering just a little bit less because so far in January, and it's not that far into January, but the original price of $280,000 is the median price, and the sales price is actually $244,900. So that is actually a pretty steep jump. So you might want to look into, because of that slow period or that slow season, that's where you might actually get your deals. But hurry, because that is not going to last very much longer. We're talking weeks, folks. So get in there and look at those houses. Now for December, now keep in mind, it normally takes approximately 2 weeks to 30 days, maybe even up to 45 days for a closing. So let's say your original price is up, the house is up on the market in November, the closing is going to happen in December and so forth. So that slow period of between the end of November and the end of December, that's what we're actually seeing closing in January. So that's where you're seeing that drop in price. So you may actually save tens of thousands of dollars if you hurry, but you really do have to act quickly, because that is going to be changing over the next few weeks, literally 2 weeks. That's where you're going to start seeing all of those people that are using their tax return to use as closing costs or for moving expenses or whatever. That's when they're going to start hitting the market, and your window may be closing at that point. So at least for those larger savings that may be out there. If you can get some of the houses that were just sitting on the market during the holidays, well, you might just luck out. Well, let's see if we can take a look at November. November, we had a median home price of $294,945 and the sale price $285. So a little bit of a difference there. We went up in median original price in December, $299,683, and the sales price $275. So really not really much of a huge difference there, but once you got into January and these closings for the slow period, $280,000 for the original price. So we had a pretty big jump there alone, but then the sales price, $244,900. That's big. That is really, really big. So that has not really occurred all year long. So definitely look into that happening. If you look over year after year in Marion County, what historically has been going on as far as the amount of sales, from 2019, we had 511 sales, 2020, 627, 2021, 603, and then of course we had a big burst in 2022, 693. And then 2023, that's where we started seeing those interest rates go up. So of course, the house price sales, it went down to 533. So almost back to 2019 numbers. But now in 2024, that's interesting because that went back up to 637 houses sold in 2024, despite the fact that the interest rates stayed high or even higher than 2023. So really interesting. So I'm thinking that in 2025, we're actually going to see more houses being sold than in previous years, because that's really what we're historically seeing. And for everybody saying, oh, the market is dropping, that has not really proven to be the case here in Marion County. It's actually pretty steady. 100 houses difference between the entire county, notwithstanding. And of course, we had extenuating circumstances in 2020 and 2021, 2022, where we're having a lot of people that were escaping COVID and escaping a lot of the bigger cities and stuff, moving down here. So those three was kind of an outlier, but there's not really a huge difference as to why it would be 2023 and 533 sold, and then 2024, 637 sold. So big difference there, big difference there. And if you're looking at, 2019, which is pre-COVID, they had 511 houses sold here, whereas 2024, 637 houses sold here. So again, we're really seeing a difference in those numbers. Historically, we're actually doing really well in our home sales market. I think there's a lot more inventory, especially with a lot of houses being built and being offered that definitely were not there in 2019. We had a housing shortage like you wouldn't believe in 2019. So really good news for that. Now, what about the rest of the state? What is going on with the rest of Florida? Let's take a look at those numbers. For the entire Florida housing market in 2024, the median home sales price, let's say November 2024, was $407,700. So we're almost half what it is in the rest of the state. It's actually that 407,000. It's actually higher than what it was in November of 2023. The state of Florida is currently lower than the national median home sales price of $437,237. I had to make sure what I was reading. Now, what about South Florida? Well, South Florida is obviously a little bit different. Home sales prices are projected to increase 6.9% in 2024 and 6.5% in 2025. So we haven't got all of the numbers yet, but it is actually looking pretty good for South Florida. As far as November sales, we don't have December's all out yet. But as far as November 2024, the for sale inventory was 170,220 houses statewide. New listings for November was 32,673, and the median sales to list ratio was 0.973. So really interesting stuff there. The house prices have actually ticked up from October. statewide 372,000. To November, it was actually 421. Going into the end of the year, going into 2024, 407. But again, that is the slower time period. So, that's kind of expected. All right. Enough statistics. I'm sure I bored you into oblivion with all of that. Let's go ahead and jump into some fun stuff that you can do this weekend. In fact, today, right here in your hometown of Ocala. You can go, of course, to Brown's Market. Run. Don't walk. Get out to Brown's Market today because, of course, they have Junk in the Trunk. Absolutely love Junk in the Trunk. It's so much fun. They also have, of course, the Appleton. It's the first Saturday, so it's free. So you can go in and enjoy all of the beautiful artwork. And because it's going to be pretty chilly this weekend, you probably want to do something indoors. If you are going to be outside, definitely bundle up because it's going to be one of the coldest days of the year so far. And it actually is going to get colder. Florida is actually going to get colder. So over the next couple weeks, it is actually going to be quite frigid. So be careful with that. Dig out those winter clothes if you still have them. If not, stay indoors. It is going to be very chilly, at least for us. We may actually have freezing temperatures or below freezing temperatures. So watch your pipes, make sure and wrap them up because we have a lot of exposed pipes over at the well and stuff like that. Since it's Florida and we don't normally have freezing temperatures here. So watch out for all of that. Keep that in mind. I know a few people said to use a pool noodle around your pipes. Whatever it takes, just make sure and protect that so that you're not going to have to call a plumber to fix broken pipes because they froze and the ice got larger and expanded and broke a pipe. So you don't want to deal with that. Trust me, you do not want to have to deal with that. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you have a great time, not only in 2025, but also in your new home in 2025. And if you are looking for somebody to help you with that home purchase, definitely give me a call. Here at the office, it's 352-817-9160. If you have any questions or there's anything that we can help with, I would really love to do that for you. We are definitely a resource, especially if you are coming from other areas. We try and help you out. We've got plenty of videos right here on our YouTube channel and on our podcast and so forth so that you have all the resources you could possibly need when moving to Ocala or when choosing a home here. Again, thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week, same place, same time, Saturday morning, 10 a.m.
You've been listening to What's Up, Ocala? Follow us all week on Andrea Praber's YouTube channel and TikTok. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. on What's Up, Ocala. channel and TikTok. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. on What's Up Ocala.